Blog Talk Radio.
You are listening to the Enlightenment Evolution Network. Welcome to Earth Sky People Radio. Living in harmony with Mother Earth and awakening to an intergalactic society. With your host, Victoria Vives, founder of Reiki Wellbeing and co-founder of the Earth Sky People Movement. Any opinions expressed in Earth Sky People Radio do not necessarily represent the opinions of the Enlightenment Evolution Network. Any opinions expressed in Earth Sky People Radio's guests do not necessarily reflect the opinions of Earth Sky People Radio. Hello, this is Victoria Vives, and today is Saturday, December 13th, 2014, and we are here in a special show. We're going to have two very, very special guests. Rob Gaffier will be channeling Aridif, and we will have the answers to the 10 questions that you would ask as an extraterrestrial. So I've been talking with many of you in Facebook, in YouTube, in my website. So you have been sending me questions that we can ask an extraterrestrial. So we're going to be doing that, and then at the end we will have also a Q&A. So you can call in right now, start calling, and the phone number is going to be 347-380-8788. And then just press 1 so that we know that you want to ask a question. And at the end of the show, those who have been there the longest will get their answers also to their questions. So let's just take a moment to meditate together so that we can tune in with each other and with the energy of the cosmos, with our soul families, our galactic families. So I invite you to close your eyes for a moment and focus on your breathing. Breathe mindfully in and out. And in order to expand into the universe, first we're going to visualize roots coming out from our feet into the earth. And this is going to help us feeling stable and having a strong foundation to reach further in the universe. So visualize those roots coming into Mother Earth, giving you nourishment, stability, grounding. And at the same time, start breathing through your heart, so that your intentions are pure and your soul family and galactic family can clearly hear you. And as you breathe in and out, you start bringing more and more love around yourself, creating a shield, a filter all around you, so that only beautiful things come in and out of your energetic field. So, now focus right in the center of your head, in your pineal gland. Allow it to activate, being able to perceive extrasensory information so that you can clearly connect with those that are not in this dimension. And at the top of your head is your crown chakra, so allow it to open, receiving all the energy from the cosmos, radiance from all the star systems, connecting with your galactic family and feeling that connection deep within you. And take one more deep cleansing breath. Then you can slowly open your eyes. Good. So with this introduction, we are going to welcome Rob into this show. Rob Gaffier, hi, how are you?
I'm doing great. I'm glad to be here, Victoria. Thank you very much for having me on.
Oh, I'm so excited. This is such an amazing opportunity. All these questions from so many people. And it is so interesting that many of us have the same question. So I feel it is a great way to complete this year and get ready for 2015 for really going deeper into this connection with other galaxies.
I agree. This next year coming up is going to be a great year, and what a way to end this year, huh?
Yes, and I already had you on the show, so many of the people listening may know about you, but would you just give a short introduction about how you connected with Trev and also with Aridif, and what is the difference that you notice between the two connections?
Yeah, absolutely. I'll go with the shorter version here because it is kind of a longer story, but I went through a pretty rough patch in my life for a few years, and when I started coming out of that rough patch, I started finding more things out about myself. I started connecting back to seeing the beauty in things of life instead of just the grimness and just the depressing versions of what life has to offer and the way to perceive it. And during that time when I found more energy in myself to start manifesting different things, I found that meditation was one way to clear myself out, that it was probably the most profound way to be in a state of excitement and ease and relaxation. So I started meditating a lot. I started meditating and I started learning from these people at a spiritualism church, which is basically a church that believes that there's an afterlife, that the soul is an eternal thing, and that by connecting to the entities who have passed on, you're able to have proof about that. So they sponsor mediumship. They have a church center in Lilydale, New York, and from that center, they certify intuitives and psychics, and their terminology is medium. So they connect to all these people, and in the church that I was going to, I met this guy. I did a session with him. Everything about it was on mark and perfect, and I asked him to start teaching me, so he did. And I went through that whole process, and eventually, after meditating many hours per day, like literally sometimes I would be in a deep meditative state 3 times a day for an hour to an hour and a half plus. When I wasn't doing that, I would use this technique that I had taught myself, which was basically closing your eyes and experiencing the world through only sound and only that extrasensory perception. And once I started doing that, I started finding that more of myself was connecting. But eventually I hit a plateau in my meditation. So I went from that period to jumping up to a new level of meditation. And I looked on the internet, and through synchronicity, I found this program called the Gateway Experience from the Monroe Institute, which was called Hemisync's Gateway Experience. And I used it, and it took my meditation to a whole new level. It taught me so many different new techniques. I incorporated those with a few techniques I made up. And I did that for a long period of time. It took me 4 months to get through the series, which I kind of fast-tracked. I went a little quicker than I believed that I should at that point. And several months later, during a night I was having a very difficult time, I went into a meditation to recenter myself, and when I was meditating, I had an astral projection. And what that is a lot like an out-of-body experience, but when you have an out-of-body experience, you don't always perceive things that are outside of your natural vibrational state. So anything that's multidimensional or higher densities, in an astral projected state, you can perceive these things. That night, I was put into this area during my astral projected state that was like a room, and I didn't know where it was. It looked very funny to me. There were a lot of things that were very simple, but yet some things had some technology there that I knew was above and beyond. So I figured I might have went into a visualization or dream state, or just that something had happened that was so different than what I was used to experiencing in meditations. But the problem was it felt so real. It felt like as if I was in my body but somewhere else. It was more intense too. In your waking state, you have your normal 5 senses and sometimes tap into that extrasensory. but the extrasensory was just as strong as the rest of my senses. It's intuitively, I just knew things. And you've probably been through that in a dream state when you're going through, you see somebody's house and you say, hey, this is so-and-so's great-grandmother's house, and there's no way you could know that, but you just do. And that's the feeling that I was getting. And as I'm waiting there, I'm looking at this language that I have no idea what it is, and eventually it kind of morphs into a language that I understand in English. And it said something to the equivalent of, please be patient, someone will be with you soon. And I thought that was hilarious. I thought maybe I was having some dream state about being in a waiting room at a doctor's office in the future or something. And so I'm waiting, and right after that, just settling in comes this gigantic 7-foot reptilian-looking entity, very large, very... it wasn't a dominating presence, but it was very, very large and very intimidating. And I looked at him. My heart stopped. I just gasped. I'm like, and within 2 or 3 seconds, yes, it was absolutely amazing. And after about 3 seconds, that fear turned into calmness, instant calmness. In fact, it was more than calmness. It was a level of love that I never was able to experience before that. And I felt that, and it calmed me down. And this entity comes in and explains that he is an entity who is connected to me, that the things in reality I believed were not the way that it was truly represented, and that he was there to connect to me if my desire, if my will was there. He told me that his name was Treb Boryetny, and that he would connect to me basically whenever I desired to. We only spoke for a few minutes. It was very startling, and I left, and I didn't go back for 3 days. And understanding the point where I was at that period, 3 days of not meditating was like, it was impossible. It's like not eating for 2 weeks. I didn't do that. Goodness. It was a lifestyle. Yeah. And from that period, I would go and just keep connecting to him, and myself and him just built a relationship for about 2 years. And during that time, he would tell me all this information, and once in a great while, he'd mention this entity that he called Denib Cygnus, and it's Cygnus. When I say Cygnus, sometimes people think the word is sickness, and it wasn't Cygnus. So Denib Cygnus, and he mentioned that quite a few times, and he would tell me things that he had learned from this entity, and I went through, and after 2 years I wanted to start channeling because I had seen other channeling. In fact, one channeling I had heard was something that Treb had guided me to in order to assure that I wasn't going crazy and that my connection with him was real when I first started. And then 2 years later, I looked at that and I seen, hey, channeling is possible. So if I'm going to share what Treb's teaching me, I should be able to let people connect to him to be able to do the same. So I did. And during that time, I've been publicly channeling for a while, and probably a little over a year and a half, 2 years after I started channeling, a guy got a hold of me named Jefferson Viscardi, wanted to write a book with Treb. So I said, why not? Let's do it. And we got together. I channeled, and then we transcribed the channeling sessions themselves, and then we created this book. And in one part of the book, Jefferson asked Treb to connect with other entities to give a message to Earth. And the entity that he connected to, his name was Aridif. And Aridif is basically to Treb how Treb is to me. It's Treb's higher guidance. It's Treb's entity that he connects to learn from a higher density. And this was the most profound portion of the book. It was about 20-some pages of the deepest information about how the universe works, the universal structure, and how consciousness evolves. That's where Aridif came in. And once in a great while, I would connect to Aridif, and I would learn things from him. Treb would connect to him and then connect to me, so I would be able to channel Aridif, and I did that a few times, probably 5 or less times. And then towards the middle of this year, he came through during one of the radio shows that Kalina was doing, the Earth Experience, her own show, came through and told Kalina, I'm ready to start working with you guys. And when he said that, he said it openly, he said it directly, and ever since then, my connection with him has been getting much, much stronger. Now I'm able to channel him individually just as easy as I'm able to channel Treb. Before, when I channeled any other entity, it would always be from the connection of Treb. Treb would connect to me, and then he would connect to these entities to bring in the information. Now I'm able to directly connect to Aridif by himself and to channel him directly. And this was something that was wonderful and beautiful, and that's what brings us to today.
Wow, so that might have been just your own raising of frequency that allowed that stronger connection with Aridif, I imagine.
Yeah, absolutely. What had happened is, in my life in the last year and a half, I've grown probably more than I did the first few years I was channeling. Well, I won't say that because I did make a huge jump when I first started meditating. I mean, I changed my life completely. But in this last year and a half, I have made a huge extension in my own consciousness. I've opened up. If you go back and listen to the channelings from 2 years ago in mid-2012, and then you go to listen to the ones that we're doing today, the information flows so much better because I'm letting go more things of myself that don't resonate with me. I'm letting go of more resistance in myself, and that translates through the channeling. It translates very well, and you could see the quality of the channeling now compared to then, and you can also see it getting better every day. And that raising my own vibration, opening my own energy, is what's helped allow Aridif to come in without resistance and with a quality of connection that he has.
Wow, how fascinating. I love it. And I love really your dedication because, you know, I feel that I could explore more that area, but for some reason I'm not. But you are really, really dedicating yourself to it, and that's what I really appreciate. And you have such an easy way to do it and so natural. And I really appreciate it and admire about you, what you are doing, and with the Enlightenment Evolution Network, all the things that you are creating. It is such a strong force, positive force to bring transformation to the world. So I really appreciate you for that.
Oh, thank you very much. And I appreciate people like you who are excited to share, who are excited to get on and share your own heart and then connect to other people. Sometimes on spiritual journeys, people can get to a point where they believe they have everything figured out and that talking to other people or working with other people is irrelevant because why would they do that when they know everything themselves? And when we all get together, more information can be found. When we get together, more energy can be connected, and we have better variety of the spectrum of energy that all of us truly are. So by you doing this show, by all the people on the network doing the show, and by myself doing whatever it can to get us all together, that in itself is a blessing, and each individual energy and collective energy is amazing. I love doing what I do.
And we love it. We are very, very grateful. Okay, so I'm going to remind our listeners that they can call. So if you are listening right now online, make sure to also call on the phone, because if you call 347-308-8788 and press 1, that means that you have a question for us. And at the end of the 10 top questions for extraterrestrial beings, we will be opening the line for a couple of questions, okay? So make sure to press 1 if you are calling in so that we know that you want to ask a question. And now we're going to welcome Aridif. So can we do that now, Rob?
It's going to take me about maybe 3 to 5 minutes kind of to neutralize my energy. Once I'm done doing that, then I will be able to start my connection process to Aridif.
Beautiful. And I love all the sound healing that you do as you prepare to connect. So maybe we can just relax and tune in with your sound.
All right. Well, it'll take me about the 3 to 5 minutes just to get to the sound part. I've got to kind of just sit with myself and breathe and neutralize energy before I get to the point where I start my oming and connection.
All right. Okay. So I will just talk for a little bit.
Okay. I'll be right back in about 3 to 5.
Wonderful. Okay. So for those who are listening today, last week we had a show with James Wicks, who is the visionary of the film, the documentary Across the King's River. So if you want to listen to that interview, you can go to victoriavives.com/radio, and you will see there all the archives. I have the videos, the audios, so you can check out everything that has been in this show. And also, next week, we're going to have Greg Friedman. He is actually traveling all around the world with different people, different tribes, learning indigenous traditions and also helping people in our civilization to reconnect with those ways of connecting with wisdom. So it's going to be an amazing interview that will be next week on Saturday as well at 10 a.m. And if you are in Los Angeles, I would love for you to come to my winter solstice celebration tomorrow. So that will be Sunday, December 14th at 10 a.m. We will start, and we'll have so many celebrations and shamanic drumming circles and learning some primitive skills and chanting together. It's going to be an amazing celebration for the winter solstice. So if you want to check that out, you can go to reikiwellbeing.org. Okay, so those are some of the announcements, and I'm going to check in and stay in silence just in case Rob is ready to come back. Okay, so he's not. It's okay. I will continue sharing with you. So I have been receiving all the questions from you, and I had to choose only 10. It has been so hard. Oh, my goodness. But thank God, many of them were a little similar, so I kind of put them together into sections. And then I have a couple that I will ask beforehand. Eddie sent one that I have interest in because it's about Spain, and I'm from Spain. So that would be one of my questions to Aridif. And then at the end of the show, as you know, you can call if your question has not been answered. And then in that way, you have that opportunity. So if you are listening, once again, the phone number to call in is, let me check, oh my goodness, I lost it. Oh, no. Okay, I have it somewhere. Here. 347-308-8788. And then press 1. Because I already see people here, so the first that are pressing 1, those are the first that are going to be answered. All right. So just a little bit
I'm ready to.
Okay.
Oh, okay. There you are. Sorry about that.
Oh, that's totally fine.
All right. If you'd like me to, I'll go ahead and start connecting.
Yes, that would be wonderful. Thank you.
All right, no problem. And I just want to let everybody know who's listening. Feel free to ohm with me. Aridif's ohming is a little different than Treb's ohming. His is one sound that's repetitive, longer and shorter. But this vibrating and ohming, you can use it for your own energy and relax and connect to it. And when you connect to that energy, it helps assist the energy flow of yourself receiving, as well as any questions you might have to be answered in a better energy. So I am going to go ahead and start connecting. Thank you again, Victoria, and I appreciate it very much.
Oh, thank you.
Greetings to you all. This is Aridif, that is Aridif, and this is it spelled. I know that you have many ideas and questions that you wish to speak of, so we will take your inquiries when you are ready.
Aridif, thank you so much for being here today. It's so exciting and it makes my heart so happy to connect with you and being able to strengthen this connection. Thank you so much for being here.
Yes, our excitement is as yours is, gigantic and large in energy and size. You are loved.
Oh, you are loved as well. Thank you. So,
yes.
Before we get into the questions, I wanted to share just a couple of things. The first one is a sharing, and the second one is a question. So the sharing is that about a month ago, I connected with a blue dragon. It was very tall, and I would like to know if you have any insight about this. It was a very healing energy.
What we perceive with this dragon entity is that this entity is an energy within yourself that you would perceive as a spirit animal or a spirit guide. The Native Americans call these power animals, but what they are a representation of the essence of yourself that deems to be connected with the entities that you perceive as animalistic or animal in nature, but perceived with the highest form of wisdom integrated.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yes.
And then the other question, I have it written here. Let me see. Okay. From which star system do the Spanish genetics come from?
We are not sure of this name. May you repeat this?
Oh, yes. From which star system do the Spanish genetics come from?
Yes, we understand now. What we can tell you of this is that all human genetics come from multiple different races. When you look at the Spanish themselves and the DNA that they incorporated themselves with, what we perceive in the energy alone is multiple races. Two of them specifically are more dominant than the rest. Understand that in the beginning of your time period in which your DNA was converted as humans, there were many races that connected, and this is what causes separate genes with different entities. But the connections of humans to one another, intermingling with what you would perceive as human races and connecting to one another, starts their own genetic line and lineage within each race. The Spanish genetics, if you will, are perceived by two specific races. One of these are entities that you would perceive as a gray human hybrid. The entities that you perceive as Statatori connected to a race of humanoids that are within the Pleiadian region that at that time were third density entities who were dark skin and dark hair with their own physical attributes. This connected to the energy of genetics of Spanish. The one other race that is perceived within connection of this is less to do with the physiological, but more to do with the energetic. These entities were a feline humanoid race that is from the area that you perceive as Pisces constellation.
Wow. Amazing. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Okay. Yes. So after these couple of questions, we're going to start with the real questions, the top 10 questions that you would ask an extraterrestrial. And this is from all the friends on Facebook and YouTube online that have been submitting questions to ask you, Aridif. So I'm excited to ask you this.
Yes, we are also excited of the inquiries that are coming.
Beautiful. So I will start by reading the first question. How can we specifically, as people from Earth, help you? Is there something you would like to know from us? What would be the most fun, exciting, or fulfilling thing to co-create with us?
In our excitement is to connect to humanity in the way that we are now, understanding that in the environment in which we exist, all things that we do are only within the highest realm and spectrum of excitement that we are able to perceive. Each of us are individual in nature and have desires and preferences that are ours alone. My specific interactions with you is in my highest realm and spectrum of excitement, by what I am learning from you. As Trevor Yitney expresses to many of you, that by seeing portions of yourself, by connecting to different human entities, he is able to perceive a portion of himself that once he was not able to perceive before. This is very accurate in the description of the reason in which we are excited to speak to you all.
Wow. Okay, so that was question number 1. Let's go for question number 2. And this
Yes.
is about the energy of ascension of 2015. Can you tell us more about the new frequency in 2015, and also specifically about the ones that are coming from the portal in Sedona, and how can we integrate them in a greater way in our lives?
Yes, what we may say of the year that is coming in front of you is that this year is going to be one that helps expand each individual consciousness as well as the collective consciousness of Earth. There will be many types of interactions in which you desire and you will receive. Mind that very quickly you will be manifesting at a level in which you were never able to manifest. So by thinking your thoughts of negative nature, you will perceive a negative reality that much more quickly. By thinking positive thoughts, you will increase your excitement and increase the quality of your existence exponentially. Be mindful of your thoughts as you journey forward into the year of 2015, and be aware that all belief systems that you have that you feel are limiting or that are limiting you, in which you are not aware, will also be surfacing. Now, when you look at Sedona in specifically, the portal to this area will be very high energetically. And when this energetic energy comes to Sedona, it will allow all who encompass the energy of this area to help assist them within their throat to crown chakra area. This is where it will be stimulated the most if you are in this specific energetic zone.
Wow. Okay, so question number 3. When we will have full disclosure of extraterrestrial life, and will you have any intervention or any other civilization in the universe will help us by having any intervention so that we know as a collective that you exist physically?
Disclosure is up to your own race. It is up to your interconnected consciousness exporting itself into the collective consciousness. So all of you singly connecting outwardly into a collective consciousness will be responsible for when disclosure occurs. What we mean by this is when you are ready to receive the information as a collective, it is up to you. The future as you perceive it is not the future. It is in the now moment. It is just as fluid as any concept in which you desire. Your perceptions of linear time give you idea that in the future as you connect, things can change. In this moment, in this now, where all things exist, it is always fluidly moving. Your decision in the way that your energy is transmitted, in the way that you perceive yourself, and the beliefs that incorporate all of those things will be the tool to manifest all things in the future as well as your perception. Disclosure is imminent, but it is up to your own self, individually and collectively, when this occurs. Now, when it comes to our race doing anything to help you, it is not within our belief systems to come onto your planet and fix your problems. What we are doing is giving you the opportunity to find an energy that you perceive comes as a higher knowledge or higher understanding that is reflected back to you in the communications that we have. You may use our energy in whichever way you desire, but all changes upon the earth are in your hands and your hands alone, not as a single entity, but a collective. The single may look at yourself, get excited, and change the reality that you are in. If you wish to be in an area in which disclosure is now, if you wish to be in an area where there is no need for anyone to help you, then shift your energy to this, and that is the reality that you will exist within.
Powerful. Thank you. Okay,
yes.
So question number 4. How did your civilization resolve problems such as poverty, energy, war, pollution?
Yes, what we can tell you about civilization, we never came into anything in this nature. Our progression and evolution was never in the polarity of what you perceive to be negativity or self-destructing. We came from a second density animal that you would perceive as an animal in the wild. It is not anything as if it is on your planet. The closest concept that Rob has connected to other humans to explain what our second density animal looked as is a mix between a meerkat and perhaps the other one is a lemur. And in these two animals, if you take away the fur and have a skin color that is blue, this is the closest in which we were. After evolving out of this, we came into a place of awareness that you would perceive as third density, or the human collective consciousness in its beginning, such as cavemen. The only hardships that ever came to us was finding food. And once our intellect had caught up to our availability of consciousness in that moment, we were able to reproduce food by using seeds and planting them organized. And when we organized the planting of these seeds, we were then able to overcome that adversity. All other forms of our evolution were natural and were not needed to have any wars, pollution, or genocide or homicide. We all connected to one another very easily because we were able to connect to our planet's consciousness. Once we became one with the energy of the planetary consciousness, all resistance was gone. Your planet, as human collective consciousness, had lost their connection to the Earth. This is what caused chaos within your human race. This is what caused disconnection. Once you realign your hearts and minds with your planetary consciousness, your resistant-free environment will be ready for you.
Wow, that's huge. I love that, and I'm working so much towards that. Thank you so much. That's so powerful.
Yes.
Wow.
You are very welcome. We are very happy to help you see what is already within your hearts and minds.
Oh. Okay, so question number 5. What is dark matter? How does it work? And can it help us in our advancement?
Yes, what you perceive as dark matter is not as your scientists believe it to be. We have expressed that the universe in which you perceive it comes in two forms. It comes in the gravitational energy that your scientists understand, but it also comes in an energetic wave pattern that your scientists do not understand. What we can tell you, to give you the simplest example, for simplicity's sake, we will say that gravity serves as a stone being dropped into a pond. The rippling effect that comes outward is the wave energy that is secondary to your universal consciousness. Now, when these grooves that are within the waves that are expanding from the center of the gravitational pull, then these waves are what is represented as dark matter. When you look inside of your consciousness, you will see the same thing in the atomic structure. You will see a central organism with several things orbiting this, as a direct connection to gravity and the wave energy. If you put this on a larger scale, anything that is rippling outward is a mixture of gravity and the energetic waves. This is what dark matter is. It is what you perceive as connecting to most of your universe. But let us show you that gravity interwoven with this energy that we would perceive as wave energy is what makes all of your physical universe, not just the majority.
Wow. Okay. Well, and that actually ties into the next question. Question number 6 is about the universe. Is there an end to the universe? Are there other universes? And how do they connect if there are others?
Yes, what we can tell you of your universe, of our universe, of the universe that you are aware of, is that it is finite in time and space. What your perceptions of the universe are less than 1/100th of the actual size. We are not able to give you this information as this is your journey to explore, and your scientists will find more so as the years accumulate that your perception of the size of this universe is not accurate in any fashion. When you expand past the at least 100 times size that your universe is, you will find that this is one universe of an infinite amount of universes. Universes expand through what you would call the multiverse. Perhaps medium is the greatest word to use, and in this medium where all multiple universes are, or the multiverse itself, there are many types of universes. This universe is made with gravitational energy, it is made with electromagnetic energy, it is made with what you perceive as the weak and strong nuclear force energy, and these are a few of the rules and laws that are made in this universe. Each specific universe has their own laws, their own dictations, their own evolution of the entity that you perceive to be 11th density universal consciousness in the desire that it wishes to grow within. As that entity expands into a growth that is fitting best for itself, it multiplies itself in consciousness by breaking down fractalized consciousnesses. Each fractalized consciousness is one smaller part of a larger picture, that when you push all of these energies together, it will make the sum that is the universe. If you wish to connect to other universal consciousnesses, this is able to be done, but it's very difficult for the level of consciousness that any of the physical entities that reside in this universe are able to do. What we are saying, our own race is 6th density in nature. This is the last portion of physical existence before you enter the non-physical state, the connection back to oneness in smaller variety. When we are physical in nature, it is very difficult to expand past what we are able to connect as to us in oneness. So when we connect back to the oneness, we are still only able to perceive the universal entity that you perceive as 11th density consciousness, and this is what will help expand yourself to see other universal consciousnesses. It has happened where physical entities have done this, but only by connecting themselves back into the oneness in which they are.
Wow. Thank you.
Yes.
Okay. Question number 7. Can you share one technique and one plant or food that can help us accelerate our healing, bringing longevity, and unlocking our true potential?
In what way do you desire to have this information? Was it expressed that you wish to understand your connection to food when it comes to healing yourself and expanding?
It would be just one technique, maybe one process that can help us with these things like accelerating healing, longevity, and reaching our full potential, and the other is something to eat or to consume that we can also have helping us.
Yes, what we can tell you is that the longevity is not within the food area. Although this seems to be counterintuitive by most of you, we assure you that your food is only an extension of your own consciousness, and connecting to it with your beliefs is what makes the food either good or bad to you. Now, we understand that certain chemicals that are placed in certain foods are more toxic than others to your physical human bodies, whether you believe it is or not, because the collective consciousness believes that it is, so it becomes a very bendable law. There are many entities that are able to eat poisonous things and survive because their belief systems allow them. So what we suggest is, instead of focusing upon your food for energy of longevity and healing, perceive your own consciousness in the way that you perceive your physical body. For instance, if you believe that you are unattractive, if you believe that you are ugly, if you believe that you are negligent to your physical body, you will perceive a body that is fitting to all of these things. If you allow yourself to see the true beauty of your consciousness and soul, this will forward out to your physical body and will allow you to perceive the perfection that you truly are. What we suggest, if you desire healthiness and longevity, is live in your excitement, connect to your heart, and place yourself in the energy that you desire to live in.
I love it.
Yes.
Okay. Question number 8. Were humans created by aliens? And if so, those aliens, were they created by someone else? And how far back we could go that way?
What we can tell you of this specifically is that there are 12 amounts of DNA within humans that are not human in nature. The second entity that you come from, that you would consider pre-caveman or animal versions of what once humans were, are the true nature of the physical human earth connecting to an entity that is manifesting in physical reality. Once the entities that you perceive as the Anunnaki came and made the very first variants on the human DNA and manipulated this DNA, after this there were approximately 10 more DNAs connected to it. The Anunnaki counts for 2 different DNAs because the Anunnaki are 50% hybrids of 2 races. Now, when you look specifically at the creation of humanity, it is not a creation. It is an existence in which the Earth Collective Consciousness allowed a co-creation with these entities to come upon its planet and manipulate the DNA of these entities for a specific type of evolution that was exciting for the Earth Collective Consciousness to have. Now, when it comes to the predecessors or seeding races, if you will, of your Earth Collective Consciousness, specifically speaking to the human collective, what we can tell you of this is very many things. But what we will tell you in this moment is that all of these things, as important as it is to your mindset, the energy of what a human is very well known by looking into your heart. The energy of yourself lies the answers to all things. When you see the pattern of entities manipulating DNA of other entities, and these entities doing others, then what you see is a line full of entities who have co-created a reality in which their manipulations of DNA can be had in order to have the evolution that the soul desired in the first place. If this makes sense to you.
Thank you, yes. Okay,
yes.
So question number 9. Do you and your civilization have a direct connection with God or the Creator?
This question is a difficult one to answer. If you are speaking of the energetic connection to the Creator directly, as if we are perceiving what the Creator perceives, then no. But what we can tell you is that all of you, in the questions that you have produced and the answers that I am giving on the computers in which you are listening to, are a direct connection to God, a direct connection to a source creator as you perceive this. Each and every individual thing that is physically as well as non-physically within our universe within all the multiverses are a direct path and connection to God. This in itself is portions of God consciousness manifesting in our own free will and desire to have a reality in which we can use portions of that consciousness to do as we desire. This is the nature of all universes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Okay, so we are arriving now to the last question, question number 10. Can you share your favorite game?
Favorite game. We are not used to the idea of games and what you perceive it as, but if you wish us to go backwards into time, we may share one thing with you, that in our third density selves, it was very difficult, as we have expressed before, that we were not able to find food very easily, so it became difficult for us to do this. For the game that we had played, to help us pass along the time during times of hunger or times of not being able to find food in an adequate way, what we did was find places within our planetary consciousness, the physical manifestation, our planet itself, to hide within. It is much as your hide and seek, but we use telepathy with this. This is something that many races do as children. Triple Yitni's race has a smaller version of this, but what we use is our telepathic connection to be able to reach outward to other entities in order to perceive them. This is something that we worked upon very greatly that helped us hone our natural abilities to use telepathy.
Wow, that's amazing. Thank you so much for answering. Thank you so much for answering the top 10 questions that we would ask to an extraterrestrial.
Yes, and what I wish to express to you is the returned thanks. This thanks comes from a place of excitement. It also comes from a place of desiring communication for expansion of all involved. We appreciate all of your energies in the questions that you produced. You are loved.
Oh, you are loved as well. And we are going to now we are going to now open to receive some questions from the listeners, and for those who would like to call, the phone number is 347-308-8788, and then just press number 1. So we're going to go for the people that have called the first ones, and the first one is area code 316. So be ready, 316, are you there?
Yes, hi, Victoria.
Hi.
This is Karen Newman.
Hey.
Hi.
Yes,
hi.
I recognize your voice. This is awesome. How are you?
I'm so good. Hi, Aridif. Hi, how are you?
It is very great to speak to you again. It is very exciting, and I am very well.
Thank you. I just wanted to call and say hi. I did have a question, and I love listening to Victoria. I love listening to your show on Saturdays. Thank you. The question I had the other night, I was going to sleep, and as soon as I closed my eyes, it was like all of a sudden I was grabbed, and I heard a very loud, like pulsing, like you would hear in an alarm, like bomb, 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 like that. It was so sudden, and it was almost like metal slamming. And what happened is, I froze up because I felt like I was being grabbed. And then the next thing I knew, I turned and I was in my bed, and I looked at these two small grays. And I said to them, I'm not going.
Wow.
Leave me alone. I'm going back to sleep. And I had actually sat up and looked at them, and then I laid back down. And then I woke up again, and I thought, whoa. And I've never had that happen, ever. So I wanted to know, was that a dream or was that real? Because it really, I always say I'll never get scared, but I was a little bit scared. I was definitely a little bit scared.
Yes. What we can tell you of this specifically is that you have had interactions with these entities for the last 12 years of your existence. This occurs in the area of consciousness that you would perceive as the sleep state astral projected consciousness. You have had interactions with them where they are taking your astral body and taking it with them to connect to for energy connection reasons. They are looking at the way that your energy connects. Understand that the human DNA is multidimensional DNA. This allows you to perceive many densities. Many races are not able to perceive anything besides 0.5 or 50% higher than their own perception reality, which means if you are in the third density, the highest perception that you may see is 3.5 density. And in this area of consciousness, the human collective is very exciting in this way for the scientific mind, such as the great entities, to be able to test and to look at your multidimensional DNA is very exciting for them. It is not excitement felt in the perception of excitement as you have, as you understand the quality of their emotional spectrum is quite low in this way. But what we mean is that they are very driven by the idea of connecting to your DNA, and in your perception, as you are becoming more aware of your sleep state, as you are opening your third eye and crown even more than what it was, you are now allowing yourself to perceive things that do not resonate with you. This is not an uncomfortable thing when they take you. It is not negative experience when they connect you, but in that evening, you did not feel like going. Your consciousness and sleep state had much better things to do, so you disallowed this experience in the way that you desire. You are loved.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, it wasn't. The initial seizing was a little bit startling, and the blaring noise was very loud, the pulsing noise. But my reaction to them was not fear in the moment. It was more like, no, I'm not going. It was very much almost an annoyance. And then I just simply said, no, I'm not going, and went back to sleep. It was when I woke up I had the little bit of the fear. Yeah. So thank you for that. Yeah, it was really something. All right, thank you. Have a wonderful evening.
And I wanted to make sure that we mention that Karen has a beautiful show tomorrow, Sunday, and it's about oneness. Would you like to share anything about it?
Well, just tomorrow's my show about oneness. I'll have Crystal Vandenacker, who is a colleague and very close friend, and we consider each other twin souls. And we'll be talking about the coming 2015. And then on Wednesday, I will be on Rob's show, and I'll be channeling Theos. So, yeah. Nice. So,
thank you for calling.
All right, thank you. Have a wonderful show. I'm enjoying listening very much.
Okay, much love to you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Much love, Aridif.
Bye. Yes.
Bye.
And much love to you as well.
Thank you.
Okay, so we're going to go for the next question, and it's going to be area code 408. So be ready. Hello, are you there?
Hi. Yes,
Hi.
ma'am. My name is Anthony.
Hey, Anthony. How are you?
I'm doing very well. I just want to say that I can feel the love from Aridif and from you and from the callers, and it's just very amazing. My question. Hi, Aridif. I would like to ask you. Lately, in the past, there was this girl that I connected with. We were together for a long time, and we are no longer connected in the way that we are. And I sent her a message yesterday from my heart with words. And I was wondering, what can I do to strengthen this connection energetically?
Yes. First of all, what we can say is that if you perceive this entity as not desiring to have you in their life and the connection in which once you had, then perceive a new version of this entity. This is something that humans do not utilize as often as possible. What you are able to do is perceive the version of this entity that desires to connect with you the strongest. And in that way, you will see and feel and connect to that version of that entity. Everything else about this entity will be the same. The same person that once you loved and still your love is carried for, will remain the same in all ways except for this one way. But the problem is that many of you are perceiving versions of entities that do not wish to stay with you. Your heart believes this wholeheartedly. Your mind believes this. Your belief systems are connected into that idea that they will not accept or reconnect you in the fashion that you desire. So change that version. This is one thing we can say. To strengthen your connection to any entity is expressing your heart's desire without expectations of how they will receive your connection. By doing this, you allow yourself to connect, you allow them to connect to you in the way that is easiest for them, and then you will all be able to see your love for one another.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Yes, and thank you also.
Thank you, Anthony, for calling.
Thank you for accepting.
Bye-bye. Okay, so let's go to how you feel, Aridif. You think we can take two?
I am not hearing the last two words of this idea.
We can take two more questions? Two more listeners?
Yes, two more questions is very possible.
Beautiful. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you as well.
Okay, so area code 312. Be ready.
Hello, my name is Patrick. I have some questions, or a question for Aridif.
Beautiful.
I'm not certain on what I should ask because I had interest in like two things, but I'll just tell Aridif, could you tell me something cool? Like
yes, what we
energy?
can tell you. Yes, what we can tell you very specifically is, first of all, we are very glad to connect your energy again and that treble Yithni sends his love to you. Secondly, what we can tell you is that in your heart you have found many answers. You have created a reality in which once you thought was uncreatable. You have pushed forward through your existence and all of your hardships, and for that you are loved. Is there any desired question that you have that we may answer? For this, we feel can be very beneficial to you.
Oh, okay. I wanted to know something about me and my girlfriend and our future, because I've been thinking about things like having kids and stuff like that, and I found that that's something that's really exciting to me. So is there anything that you can tell me about that, like us together?
Yes, what we can tell you is within probabilities that we see, there are many realities in which you are connected to this entity for long periods of time and children as possible, others where you are not connected or that you are and children are not able to be had. So, what we can tell you in return is what specific reality do you desire? You desire to be able to have a very close and loving relationship with this entity and to be able to connect yourself physically in order to have children. So what we can suggest to you is what we did in previous callers by suggesting that you perceive the version of her that is very connected to your heart. We know that you are aware of how to do this. We know that you have practiced this before. So what we can add to what you are not aware of is by perceiving yourself in a center of love, perceiving yourself in a center of connection, and perceiving yourself in the center of fatherhood may help you allow the energy that you desire the most. Place a visualization within your mind. Close your physical eyes. Breathe in the fashion that you know is appropriate with inward nose, outward your mouth, breathing with colors of green and purple. Visualize all things that you desire. Visualize yourself in the future 10 years with this entity and your children by your side. This will help flow all of those existences that you prefer into a more focused reality center. Thank you, Patrick. You are loved.
Okay, I love you too. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you, Patrick. Much love.
Much love to you too.
Okay. So we're going to go to the last question. So the area code is going to be, let's see who has been here the longest, 641. So 641, be ready. Hello? Hello, are you there? 641? Hello?
Hello?
Okay. Oh, yes. Hello.
I'm Lucky. Can you hear me?
Yes. What is your name?
My name is Russell.
Hi, good meeting you. So do you have a question for Aridif?
I do, and I just want to say it's my first time to hear your voice on the radio, and you sound wonderful, and you're having a wonderful show.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. This has been wonderful. Good experience.
Okay, very good. Yeah. Well, to Aridif, thank you so much for being here, and you really are, giving us the real deal today, so I appreciate that. My questions have to do with, I was very much excited about the 13 levels that you had given a couple of years ago. And so I've been perceiving, can you guys hear me okay?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, great, because I got an echo here. It's a little funny. It's okay, though. So I've been perceiving guides that are coming to me out of a collective of like the 11th density or maybe the 9th density. And some of it can be like as you get closer to maybe like 7th density, they'll be personalized, like have more personality. And so that like level of the universe is where my meditations have been, and there's been a lot of clearing that's coming from that. And also about like connecting into other universes and how clearings and changes might be taking place on that level within the universes. Could you talk to me about anything about that area? Because you're just, you really seem to have the information, so I appreciate it.
Yes, Russell, we are grateful for your questions. What we can tell you in your own perception of what 9th density consciousness comes from is a very simple process. Your connection to your heart and mind are there. Your information is flowing. Your wish to expand past this area of consciousness is one that is highly desired. If you are able to truly integrate yourself into this level, then higher perceptions are very capable and possible of happening. But what we can tell you, when it comes to the multi-universal consciousness, what many of your human consciousness entities believe is parallel universes are actually other matrices within this universe. What we can tell you of your connection is when you are on a 8th density or 9th density template and you are connecting at that level of consciousness, integration to other matrices can be made. What it would perceive what it would be perceived as in your perception would be a parallel universe where all things are very similar, the structures are made in similar fashions, your planetary consciousnesses are aligned very similarly as they are here, and in those perceptions you are able to find more reality. Let us express to you something that we have shared with others before, that in these 12 matrices that exist within one universal structure, these 12 matrices exist with consciousness levels being more purely connected to consciousness from another. When you perceive what you call 5th density entities, these are also called by others 5th dimensional creation, or 5th dimensional consciousness. Now, many people will exchange both of these ideas as one and similar, but they are not. Many of the 5th dimensional entities that you perceive, or 9th dimensional Pleiadian consciousnesses, or 12th dimensional consciousness, are truly not dimensional at all. Dimensional ideas are what you would perceive as what we call matrices. So when you are connecting to what you perceive as a 9th density consciousness, what you are truly achieving is the 9th matrix consciousness. This is the 9th dimension within this universal consciousness, which is then attributed to your connection from the 9th density entities, connecting into that collective consciousness, which gives you a 9th density template in a 9th dimensional or 9th matrix energy. This will help you perceive other parallel matrices as well as extensions within universal consciousness in your perceptions and perceptions of those alike.
Wow.
Thank you. That's much appreciated.
Yes.
Amazing.
Thank you as well.
Thank you for calling, and bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Love you too.
Oh, okay. Aridif, thank you so very much. This has been such a thrilling experience to connect with you and have all these answers. Thank you so much for your time.
Yes, we are very excited to have come. We appreciate your energy and connection. What we can express to all of you before we disconnect is that when you are connecting from one to another, you are connecting with creator consciousness. When you are connecting to ninth density or ninth dimensional or ninth matrix, what you are connecting to is a portion of creator consciousness. When you are connecting to your dog or cat, petting them upon their head, you are connecting to creator. We are all one. Therefore, when we express you are loved, this is always relevant in all moments. Thank you for your connection, and until the next time, we bid you adieu.
Oh, bye. I love you, and you are loved.
I love you as well. You are loved as well.
Thank you.
How'd everything go?
Rob, are you there? Yes.
Yeah, I'm here.
It has been really amazing. What a download of information. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling good. Getting a little water right now. Everything's going well.
Good. Wow, that was such an intense journey. Oh my goodness. And we had people calling and everything, so it was really, really powerful.
Oh,
so happy that
I'm glad it went well.
Yes. Okay, so would you like to share your website or any other things with our audience?
Yeah, a couple different things I can share is we've got a lot of live events and a lot of online events and some workshops coming up, and you can go to www.trebchanneling, that's TREBCHANNELING.com. You can go to aridif.com, and if you don't know how to spell it, just listen to one of his sessions. He tells you every time. And then you can go to etwhisperer.com. That's etwhisperer.com. And you can also go to my Facebook page, YouTube page, pretty much anything out there. If you type my name in and the word Treb Channeling, lots of stuff come up. But all of our work is on trebchanneling.com, aridif.com, and those two are the main sources of energy and main sources of contact and all those things, too, that we're trying to share with people.
Very nice, very nice. And also I saw a new website that you have, right? The ET Whisperer, right?
Yeah, ET Whisperer. Right now it just links you back to trebchanneling.com, but we're building one of those. We're also building the aridif.com, and Kalina's doing both of those. And also the Enlightenment Evolution Network will have a homepage website too soon. So we're doing a lot of things in that work. Yeah, it'll be amazing.
Really, really cool. All expansion and creation, really amazing.
It has been an amazing year.
Yes. Well, Rob, thank you so much for being in the show for your second time in Earth Sky People Radio. Thank you so much for being here.
Oh, well, thank you for having me on, Victoria. The pleasure was mine, and I'm glad everyone enjoyed their time with Aridif, and I enjoyed my time with you guys.
Beautiful, beautiful. Okay, so thank you, everybody, for tuning in. We are going to complete the show now. So I will leave you with the announcements for the Enlightenment Evolution Network, and I will connect with you again next Saturday at 10 a.m. PST. Bye-bye. I love you.
Hi, this is Karen Newman from the show About Oneness, and here's what's coming up on the week starting on Monday, December the 8th until Sunday, December the 14th on the Enlightenment Evolution Network 1 and 2. Simply put, Rob Gautier, founder of the EEN and the host of the show that started it all, the Enlightenment Evolution Hour, has put together the greatest metaphysical radio network ever. 7 days a week we have shows that will aid you on your path to enlightenment, evolution, and ascension. On EEN 1, Monday night, 7:30 p.m. Pacific Time, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, is Heart to Heart Talk Radio with your host, Daniel Scranton. Join Daniel and his featured guests discussing a wide variety of metaphysical topics. Daniel channels the creators, the Hathors, Ophelia the Fairy, Archangel Michael, and the latest, the Unicorn Collective. Daniel and his guests will take phone calls and questions and it's sure to generate high-frequency discussions. You can find more information about Daniel at his website, danielscranton.com, and also on Facebook. Go to the Events tab on Daniel's website to learn more about Daniel's upcoming events. Daniel's guest on Monday, December the 8th, is Misty Shilva-Jenian. She is a life coach. She has a life coach certification program that she created, and she teaches you how to access your intuition. She will be talking with Daniel about her work, her spiritual journey, and the current state of the shift. She will be online live taking questions. On Tuesdays at noon Pacific Time, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, please join hosts Megan Krandelmeyer and Rachel Archelaus for Radio Inspiration, Expression, and Abundance for their show Soulfulpreneur. Spiritual business specialists Rachel and Megan will bring you inspiring conversations with people who are living their soul purpose. Frequent guests include psychic mediums, channelers, coaches, artists, and authors. They end every show with psychic readings and business coaching. Your questions about your spiritual business or life purpose journey are welcome. Wednesday nights, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 6 p.m. Pacific, is the show that started it all, the Enlightenment Evolution Hour with host Rob Gautier. Rob channels Treb on the first Wednesday of each month and will take callers' questions. On the third Wednesday, he will have special guests such as guest channelers and other metaphysical teachers. The other 2 Wednesdays are freestyle call-in shows to discuss whatever callers have on their mind. Tune in to Rob on Wednesday nights, and you can also find him on trebchanneling.com and on Facebook at the Enlightenment Evolution Network group page. Rob Gautier's upcoming events are: on January 3rd, 2015, is an online interactive event called the Advanced Density Masterclass 2.0, where Rob will channel Aridif, the ancient Pleiadian, for the most profound information about densities, dimensions, and all things of the universe. This is a live, online, interactive event that will be accessible from all devices, PC, and Macs around the world. On April the 3rd, 2015, you can spend 3 days with Treb and Aridif in Asheville, North Carolina during the lunar eclipse, learning to channel. Only 30 spots available. Please go to trebchanneling.com to sign up and for details. Thursday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 6 p.m. Pacific, join host Philip Malika with the Consciousness Evolution Hour. Join Philip and his special guests and co-hosts as they discuss the shift, ascension, timelines, metaphysical concepts, and the fifth dimension. Find Philip at the Consciousness Evolution 2.0 group page on Facebook and on YouTube. Fridays, The Earth Experience with Kalina Angel, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 6 p.m. Pacific. The Earth Experience explores our soul's expansion through our human experiences on Earth. Kalina will help you to navigate and expand through the exciting confusions we are manifesting as new 5D beings. On Saturdays, 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Victoria Vives hosts Earth Sky People Radio, Awakening to an Intergalactic Society, bringing you to greater awareness regarding starseeds and extraterrestrial life, living in harmony with one another and Mother Earth and with life beyond Earth, the Interstellar Alliance, or Planet Earth becoming part of an intergalactic society. The transformative power of music, frequency, and sound, shamanism, ancestral wisdom, and star nations, self-sustained and regenerative living, and much, much more. Victoria's guest on December 13th will be Rob Gautier, channeling Aridif, the wise ancient Pleiadian being from Deneb. There will be a Q&A section at the end. On Sundays, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 11 a.m. Pacific, is my show About Oneness. About Oneness is a weekly radio program focused on celebrating the ongoing conscious awakening of our planet and a realization of oneness. My guest on December the 14th is Crystal van den Akker from the Netherlands. She will be online live and we will be discussing the upcoming energies of 2015. If you would like to learn more about me and my show, you can go to aboutoneness.com, where there will be many videos of channelings and teaching as well as my upcoming guests. On the EEN Network 2. On Saturday evenings, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 6 p.m. Pacific, the Pied Piper and Texas Rebel hosting Disclosure Now. Disclosure Now is the On the Edge of Our Seat show that covers all topics of disclosure, from the world's most famous and obscure UFO cases to cryptozoology, conspiracies, and all things that go bump in the night. Pied Piper started his journey in Michigan in 1993 as a preteen seeing Bigfoot and never could get enough of investigating all things paranormal. Texas Rebel is a wild Texas man who loves the same journey and has studied these same things for years. Join them as they cover all things in the human experience that can just not be answered by anyone. And coming soon to the Enlightenment Evolution Network will be The Resonance Intention, hosted by Neil and Sol Gar. The show will be on Sundays, starting at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 1 p.m. Pacific. The Resonance Intention is a show dedicated to all things frequency and vibration. They will showcase conscious musicians who infuse frequencies into their music and have set out to uplift and raise the vibration of humanity through their music. They will have in-depth discussions with various artists about their passion, purpose, and personal journey that led them to where they are now. Additionally, they will routinely have guests on the topics of free energy, technology, and other quantum modalities, technologies that are coming into existence now. The Resonance Intention is a platform for artists, musicians, and inventors to increase their awareness of their personal approach in order to contribute to the paradigm shift that we are currently within. And remember, you never have to miss any show on the Enlightenment Evolution Network 1 or 2. All shows are available to listen to again on Blog Talk Radio immediately after they air on playback. Or you can go to the Enlightenment Evolution Network YouTube page and listen to any of the shows from the network. All right, back to the show.